The modern world runs on 17 minerals you've probably never heard of. They're called rare earths, and whoever controls them controls the entire world. Every piece of modern technology, your cell phone, laptop, electric vehicles, fighter jets, they all depend on a small group of minerals that you've probably never even heard of. These are called rare earth elements, and they're the only reason your phone vibrates, your AirPods sound crisp, and your Tesla can drive silently down the road. Without them, all of the tech of the world, like from NVIDIA to Tesla, would literally stop working. So what makes these elements so special? These rare earths are used to create the most powerful magnets, sensors, and screens for everything in today's digital world. They're essentially AI servers, renewable energy systems, and even national defense. And here's the kicker. One country controls almost all of it. Let's break down what they are, how we got here, and why this rare earth race will determine who dominates the tech world going into the future. Now let's talk about China and how they ended up controlling nearly the entire rare earth industry. It didn't happen by accident. It was a long game, and they played the game better than anyone else. In the 1980s, the United States actually led global production. We had the world's largest rare earth mine in Mountain Pass, California. By the early 1990s, China saw an opportunity, and they made a move that no one else did. They realized that rare earths weren't just raw materials, they were strategic leverage. So they began mining aggressively, offering rare earths at ultra low prices, undercutting every other country on cost. And while the rest of the world shut down their operations because it wasn't profitable anymore, China built refineries, trained a workforce, and dominated every part of the supply chain. By the 2000s, China wasn't just producing the most, they were the only country refining these elements at scale. And refining is the key step, the complex chemical process that turns raw ore into usable material for tech. That's where the real value is created. So while other countries exported rocks, China exported finished products. So in 2010, China used that as a weapon, and they temporarily cut exports due to a conflict with Japan. Prices then skyrocketed overnight, and that's when the world realized how dependent we had become. So since then, China has kept tightening its grip. Even today, they control about 85% of global refining capacity, meaning if they stop shipments, production lines for electric vehicles, smartphones, and even US defense systems could completely freeze. But that's all starting to change. Countries like the United States, Australia, and even Vietnam are starting to fight back. They're reopening old mines, they're funding new projects, and trying to break free from China's rare earth monopoly. Now let's talk about how the comeback is unfolding and who is leading the charge. After years of depending on China, the world is finally waking up and starting to fight back. The United States, Australia are racing to rebuild the supply chain and secure their own rare earth production. It's not just about mining anymore, it's about independence. Right now, the US only has one major rare earth mine, Mountain Pass, owned by MP Materials, ticker MP. They've restarted operations, and what's impressive is they're not just mining, they're also working to bring refining back on US soil. They've even signed supply deals with General Motors to build EV magnets domestically, a massive step towards reducing dependency on China. Meanwhile, Australia is becoming a powerhouse too. Lynas Rare Earths is the only significant producer outside China, and they're expanding fast, even opening processing facilities in Texas with US support. Then you've got emerging players trying to secure their slice of the future. American Rare Earths, ARU.AX ticker, exploring huge deposits in Wyoming and Arizona. Energy Fuels, ticker UUUU, producing rare earth oxides from their existing uranium operations. And then there's Texas Mineral Resources, ticker TMRC. They're partnering on projects aimed at rebuilding the full refining chain here in the United States. So this isn't just a mining story, it's a national security strategy. The United States Department of Defense has already started investing in rare earths because they're so vital. Mining for these minerals is expensive and it's also very slow. So I don't know how much you remember about studying the periodic table back in high school or even college. These are 17 rare earth minerals that are part of the table's lanthanide series, plus scadium and yttrium. But we are going to go through some of them today, and I'm going to explain what they are used for and why they are so important to our technology and our future. So these minerals are not actually rare in the Earth's crust, but what's rare is finding them in large concentrated deposits that are economical to mine them. Here's what makes rare earths so valuable and why each of them are uniquely important to our tech. So, neodymium, ND. It's used in high strength magnets for EV motors, wind turbines, and hard drives. So it is one of the most important minerals. Praseodymium is mixed with neodymium to make stronger magnets that are also used in jet planes and aircraft so that they can have higher resistance to heat and still work properly. So dysprosium is used also for heat resistance. It is used in magnets for defense systems and EVs, so they're very critical to military and aerospace technology. Terbium, TB, it gives the green color in phone screens and LED displays, so it helps stabilize magnets used in robotics. Europium, EU, it provides the red phosphor in screens and fluorescent lighting, and it literally colors all of our digital world. Lanthanum, LA, it's used in camera lenses, night vision goggles, and hybrid car batteries. It's essential for optics and clean technology. Cerium, CE, it's found in catalytic converters that cut vehicle emissions and also used to polish smartphone glass. Samarium, SM, makes smaller, stronger magnets used in precision missiles, drones, and guidance systems. Gadolinium, which is GD, is used in MRI contrast agents, in healthcare, and in nuclear reactors because it absorbs neutrons. Yttrium, Y, it strengthens alloys in jet engines and makes red phosphors for TVs and LED lighting. Scandium, SC, is used in aerospace, aluminum alloys, and next-gen batteries, so it's ultralight and incredibly strong. Holmium, HO, has the strongest magnetic moment of any element. It's used in lasers and magnetic flux concentrators. Erbium, ER, gives fiber optic cables the ability to transmit data over long distances and literally powers the internet. Thulium, TM, used in portable X-ray machines. It's one of the rarest and the most expensive elements on Earth. So when you add it all up, these 17 minerals are literally the backbone of modern technology. They make our devices faster, lighter, and more efficient. Without them, there's no iPhone, no Tesla, no wind turbine, and no AI supercomputer. So rare earths really are what makes the modern world actually modern. Every country that's chasing clean energy or AI dominance needs these materials, and that's why governments are calling them critical minerals. They're not just resources anymore, they're strategic assets. Here's the part that nobody likes to talk about. Rare earth mining is messy. It's one of the dirtiest processes in modern industry, and that's part of the reason why China dominates, because they were willing to take on the environmental impact that other nations have avoided. To separate rare earths from ore, companies use acid leaching and high heat refining, leaving behind toxic waste and even trace amounts of radiation. It's ironic, right? The elements that make green technology possible come from a process that isn't even very green at all. And it's not just about pollution, it's also about politics. Because these minerals have become so important to defense and tech, they have become a strategic weapon. Trade wars, tariffs, and export bans all end up circling back to one issue, and it's resources. So every time there's global tensions, rare earths sit in the middle of it all. So while the world pushes for clean energy and big tech, this is something that's turning into more of a geopolitical dispute. There are massive stakes here for the planet and the markets. That brings us to our next point of what happens next for demand, innovation, and the future of rare earths. So what's next for rare earths? Demand is about to skyrocket. Analysts project global demand to triple by 2035, driven by EVs, renewable energy, AI infrastructure, and defense systems. And unlike lithium or copper, there are no easy substitutes. You can't just replace neodymium or dysprosium with something else that makes them irreplaceable in high performance tech. So governments are responding fast. The United States and Europe, Japan, they are all investing a lot of money right now into rare earth exploration. They are looking into refining and recycling of rare earths. Recycling is especially big. Imagine pulling rare earths out of old technology instead of having to mine for new ones. That brings us to my final point, the investor's takeaway. Because if you missed the whole lithium run, this rare earth journey might be your second chance. Rare earths are the foundation of the next industrial revolution. Clean energy, AI hardware, advanced defense tech, and high-speed computing all depend on them. But here's the thing, we're still very early. Only a handful of companies outside of China have meaningful production or refining capacity, and that scarcity could mean explosive upside for the few that do succeed. This is not a get-rich-quick sector. It's volatile, political, and heavily dependent on government funding and the whole global political situation. So for long-term investors who understand how the supply chain cycles work, this may be a really good time to invest in these companies. These could be the strategic bets of the decade. So as the world shifts from oil to electrons, rare earths will be the silent giants powering it all. So whether you're a trader, an investor, or just someone watching the global tech race unfold, this is a story you'll want to keep your eye on. A lot of these companies are at penny stock prices right now, so that's why it could be the play of the decade, because if you get in early and it's one of the companies that takes off, you could be a millionaire from investing in the early stages. So that is why I say keep these on your watch list. Decide whether you want to be long-term and invest in some of these companies that you believe in, and let's make some money. Let me know in the comments what rare earths you're investing in. So thanks for watching. If you like this video and you learned something from it, hit that subscribe button. I put out weekly long-form videos and I do shorts every day. So I do stock tips, stock market updates, stock picks, and all of the details behind what makes it run.